So before we get started with these notes, I will warn you that in the presentation, the words you need to fill in are not underlined. So feel free to pause and rewind as many times as you need to. So we're talking about the history of a cell. And in order to do that, we need to first talk about what is a cell. A cell is the smallest unit of an organism that carries on the functions of life. A cell can perform all the processes of life. That includes reproduction, respiration, locomotion. The first person to look at cells was an early scientist by the name of Robert Hooke. Here's what he looked like. And Robert Hooke was an English scientist who looked at slices of cork, which is a type of tree, under a crude compound microscope. And he saw what he said were a great many little boxes, and he called them cells. He was the first person to see cells, and the word cell comes from the Latin word for little room. And this is what cork looks like under a microscope. Then we have Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He was a Dutch shopkeeper, and he looked at pond water. Here he is. And he looked at pond water using a simple microscope. And he saw these things moving around, and he called them animalcules. Now we know now that they are single-celled organisms. In the 1800s, we had Matthias Schleiden. He's a German botanist who discovered that all plants are made up of similar units or cells. And there's Matthias Schleiden. Theodor Schwann is a German scientist who stated that all plants and animals are made up of building blocks or cells. He also observed that there are similarities and differences between plant and animal cells. There is Mr. Schwann. He even got some very specific nerve cells named after him. These are Schwann cells. Rudolf Virchow. He's a German scientist. He was a physician, and he also reported that every living thing is made up of vital units known as cells. And he predicted that all cells come from other cells. So he was the first one to say that cells must carry out the life function of reproduction. So to summarize our modern cell theory, and this is what we know to be true of all cells. All living things are made up of one or more cells. Cells are the basic unit of structure and function in living things, and all cells come only from other living cells. And to help you remember this is a short video.
Story of a living cell. It's a happy tune that's sort of cheery, a battery of tough topic called cell theory. All else plants, code is two, are made with cells with its altitude. Basic units of organism. Now I hope you got so dribble. It started with this tooth and started course and took a book. Used the soap and took his time because the cell was smaller than that. Say 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you ready to learn some more? Sure. Animal cell has many parts, and we must know by heart. Like a farmer in the down, but you just control the cell. It gives the orders kind of like a brain is protected by a nuclear membrane. Around stuff like H2O and dairy foods to the selfie bro. Last of all, but very not least, the mitochondria cellular foods. Since they turn sugar into energy as well,